Tonight on Coyote News, the campus fraternity that recently closed is now facing a lawsuit from a former member, and USD faculty and staff are being encouraged to take a classroom safety course.
Local bars are trying to crack down on underage drinkers, and USD's Miracle Month continues with another fundraising event.
Plus, this week's Yo Report is good preparation for the most romantic day of the year. Those stories are coming up, but first, headlines with Kelly Stewart.
The manhunt for an ex-cop in Southern California has ended. A body found inside a cabin in Great Bear Lake, California is believed to be that of Christopher Dorner, a former member of the LA Police Department. The report came after a shootout between the ex-officer and LA Police last night. One police officer was killed during the conflict. Dorner was believed to be responsible for killing at least 3 people. Last night, President Barack Obama delivered his State of the Union address to Congress. In his speech, President Obama discussed better economic opportunities for U.S. citizens, stronger gun control laws, health care, and immigration reforms. He also proposed a $9 minimum wage. Pope Benedict XVI addressed a crowd on Wednesday announcing his resignation from the papacy. The Pope was described as well composed but emotionally moved during his speech. The 85-year-old leader of the Catholic Church says he's resigning because of his age and health concerns. The Pope's resignation is the first from the papacy in over 600 years. A new pope is expected to be chosen by the College of Cardinals sometime this spring. And those are your headlines.
Thanks, Kelly. The state legislature postponed its work week due to the winter storm that closed interstates across South Dakota. But now the lawmakers are in session and are considering many important bills. Many South Dakota towns have already passed their own texting while driving bans, but the Senate Transportation Committee is examining a statewide ban. The bill prohibits writing, sending, or reading a text message while driving, but still allows phone calls. State lawmakers are also considering a bill that would alter the waiting period for women seeking abortions. The current law sets a 3-day wait period, but the proposed bill would exclude Saturdays, Sundays, and holidays from counting toward the 3 days. If passed, that would greatly extend the current waiting period. The Student Government Association sent representatives to Pierre last week to testify against Senate Bill 177. The bill, which would have allowed students to carry guns on campus, was defeated 5-2. Before they testified, the SGA set up a Facebook poll and held an open forum to gauge the students' responses about having guns on campus. Students reacted quickly to the poll, and it ended with 93 students against and 32 students in favor of the measure.
The one thing that all of the students at that forum did agree on was that the power to regulate gun control on campus should belong with the Board of Regents.
While in Pierre, Van Meteren presented the poll's results to the lawmakers.
I encourage the legislators to think of this issue not in terms of responsibility, but in terms of general welfare. What really is best for the students and most importantly for the students' safety.
Van Meteren says it was the students' testimony that helped defeat the bill.
This year's USD's faculty and staff are being encouraged to take a new class. Coyote News' Valerie Menning went to the Center for Teaching and Learning to find out more about the classroom safety course.
In light of recent events, a new safety training program has been brought to USD's faculty and staff.
This particular series of workshops has been designed to help faculty and staff better understand what to do in case there's an emergency in their classroom.
Last week was the first time the classes were offered on USD's campus. The idea was developed this fall after 2 students fainted during class. During the seminar, participants learned how to be a leader in various crisis scenarios.
The important thing is to be ready to lead, to be expected to be the leader. If you know that people are going to look to you to do something, you're more likely to do it in the event of an emergency. Emergencies, by their very nature, are things we haven't had time to prepare and plan for. So all we can be ready for is to know that we have to act and that people are expecting us to act.
Although faculty is not required to have first aid training, O'Kelly encourages them to use outside resources.
We don't expect them to be trained in those, but we have those trained people a very short distance away.
Students and faculty just need to understand that there are procedures and policies set up, and we have some wonderful personnel on campus that are willing to share what they know.
For Coyote News, I'm Valerie Menning.
Sigma Nu's charter at USD was recently terminated by its national board, but now the fraternity is facing a lawsuit from a former member. Matthew Cronin says a 2010 hazing incident caused him permanent damage, and he's suing 8 fraternity members along with the chapter. According to the court documents, Cronin says he was forced to drink an excessive amount of alcohol in preparation for a pledge skit. During the skit, Cronin says he was almost blacked out as he was auctioned off. After his part of the skit, Cronin says he walked up the stairs and fell backwards and hit his head. Chapter members found him unresponsive with blood trickling out of his ears. Lab results taken a few hours after the incident shows Cronin's blood alcohol level at a 0.33. Cronin is seeking $300,000 in damages. The Hope for Africa organization raises money to make Africa a better place. This week, the group is raising money in a unique way. Live correspondent Courtney Sterrett joins us live in the muck with Hope for Africa Secretary Emma Smith.
Thanks, Taylor, and thank you, Emma, for meeting me here today. Now, the fundraiser you are currently working on is Hope for Hearts. Can you tell us about that?
Hope for Hearts was inspired by Valentine's Day, so it's kind of around the season. And what we are doing is Hope for Africa is tabling the muck from Tuesday to Thursday from the 12th to the 14th. And what we are doing is we want people to bring $1 and you get a Hope for Africa heart, and you write on the heart an inspirational Valentine to a child in Africa. And then at the end of the year, we are going to send those to Africa.
What will the money that you're raising be going towards?
This year, we're focusing on musical instruments for 2 primary schools and 2 secondary schools. So,
what are your other projects?
Later this spring, we're going to try to have a pub crawl downtown. And then also we are going to try the Penny War again, which is in North Complex, which did awesome last year. So we're excited to see what it brings this year.
If people are interested in joining Hope for Africa, how can they get a hold of you?
We have plenty of different things. You can go on Facebook and like us on our Facebook page, which is Hope for Africa USD. You can follow us on Twitter, or we table in the muck often, so come by our table and sign up.
All right. Thank you, Emma. That was Emma Smith, the Secretary of Hope for Africa, and I am Courtney Sterrett, live in the muck.
Thanks, Courtney. You may have been at a recent campus event and noticed that attendance was extremely low. Coyote News' Andrew Farrell says that attendance has been a problem at USD events for years.
Every week, organizations like Student Activities throw events all over campus. Many of these are successful. People have a good time and they learn a lot. But what happens when no one shows? For example, take the January 25th dance hosted by Student Life. According to some estimates, a total of 40 students filtered into this event, which is a less than stellar number. Student Life President Lindsay Sparks offered some explanation as to why the turnout was so low.
It happened to be an extremely cold weekend. It happened to be a night where a lot of the sororities were doing their initiation, so that kind of hurt us. And if you look at like movies at the mock, attendance for that weekend and even basketball attendance, all were kind of low. So I think students kind of hibernated in that weekend.
Poor student turnout isn't all that uncommon. In fact, many different organizations schedule events one on top of the other. But for Student Life, it's about quality, not quantity. Just because students don't show up doesn't mean the event was a failure. Any event is a good time for students to get to meet new people and learn new things. They just have to know where to look.
Take a peek downstairs at the wall in the muck. Take a peek at their programming board in their residence hall floor. Find one of the big white campus programming calendars, because there really is a lot of stuff going on.
For Coyote News, I'm Andrew Farrell.
Some events take place this weekend include a track meet on Friday at the Dakota Dome and a climbing wall competition at the Wellness Center on Saturday. On this week's Coyote blog, Angelica Bracken shares her opinions on the most romantic day of the year.
It's that time of the year again, when men try desperately to woo their girlfriends, when girlfriends are never satisfied with last-minute gifts from their men, and lonely girls buy themselves flowers that they claim are from a secret admirer. You aren't fooling anyone. I once watched a girl in high school address a carnation to herself and then proceed to tell her cackling circle of friends that she was positive her secret admirer would be sending her a carnation. Then her friends asked her who her secret admirer was, and she uttered, "My boyfriend's name." Needless to say, she never got her carnation, and instead, she received a singing telegram from her brother. I won't say whether or not I had any involvement in it, but you can draw your own conclusions. It feels like just yesterday when my friend and I celebrated Valentine's Day by doing Beyoncé's signature Single Ladies dance. Some believe Valentine's Day is a hoax that women created to give them an excuse to have men worship and bestow gifts upon them. Really? As if women don't demand this every other day of forever. Some believe that Valentine's Day was created by the devil as a method of torture. Believe me, lonely girl, Valentine's Day is nowhere similar to waterboarding. You'll make it through. Just buy a tub of Ben & Jerry's and rent every Nicholas Sparks movie out there. For Coyote Blog, I'm Angelica Brackens.
The Student Government Association is preparing for elections, and students are signing up to run for office. Stephen Bollinger ran for SGA Vice President last year, but he's running for president this year with Kara Fischbach as his running mate. Eric Muckey is also running for SGA President with Clay Hoffman as his VP. Applications for SGA President, Vice President, and Senate are still available. Voting takes place on Tuesday and Wednesday, February 26th and 27th. The Cross Media Council is hosting a debate for the candidates next Wednesday evening in the Freedom Forum Conference Room beginning at 7. The debate will be open to the public and will also broadcast right here on Channel 21. It will also be broadcast on KAOR-FM 91.1 and online at ustream.tv/channel/unews1. Students are asked to tweet their questions for the candidates using the hashtag USDSGA13 from now through the debate. The Dakota Dome was filled with walkers on Sunday to raise money for the American Cancer Society. Each year, more than 4 million people from 20 different countries participate in Relay for Life, the organized fundraising walk that raises cancer awareness. There were 12 local teams participating this weekend, with each team taking turns walking around the track. The walkers were accompanied by entertainment and provided with food and games in between laps. According to the Volant, the event raised $7,000 for the American Cancer Society.
Alcohol-selling establishments in Vermillion face a never-ending battle against those who attempt to use fake IDs. The Old Lumber Company is the newest bar in town. It only has been open for a few months, and assistant manager Tiff Hertlicka says they're using the same system most bars in towns use to check IDs.
Every Friday and Saturday night, we have a door guy here at 9 o'clock. And that's just because we have so many people going through the door. So they have to go through one door guy to even get into the bar.
People trying to use fake IDs at the Old Lumber Company.
You can take it, and then you don't allow them in the bar. So they get kicked out.
Hertlicka says fake IDs haven't been a major issue at the new bar yet. February is nearly half over, and so is Dance Marathon's Miracle Month. Live correspondent Kathleen Siri joins us from the Muck with DM executive Kate Nussbaumer to find out what's yet to come. Kathleen.
Thanks, Taylor, and thanks so much for being with us here today, Kate. So Dance Marathon just had their Jail and Bail event. Can you tell us a little bit about that and Dance Marathon in general?
Well, the Jail and Bail today was we had people, like prominent people on campus that we put in jail, and they had to raise $100 in order to get out. It was really successful. We raised a little over $1,000 today, so that was one of our biggest fundraising events. And Dance Marathon's a 24-hour event, and it's going to be happening the 23rd and 24th of March. So we're really getting excited for that last month that we have till Dance Marathon.
If students want to get involved with Dance Marathon, who do they talk to?
They can talk to any of the morale captains and all the exec. We usually have tables once a week. They can also go to our new website that we just got launched last week. It's usddancemarathon.org.
All right, and what other events can students expect leading up to March 22nd?
We are having a couple more events. We're having a pancake feed in March, and we have our whole Miracle Month going on. So all the events will be on the Facebook page, which is USD Dance Marathon, so they can all check those out there.
All right, thanks so much, Kate. That was Kate Nussbaumer, executive for Dance Marathon. Live from the Muck, I'm Kathleen Suri.
On this week's Yote Report, Kelly Stewart explores how the holiday for lovers is celebrated in Vermillion.
It's Valentine's week at USD and love is in the air. Although everyone's used to seeing red around Vermillion for the Coyotes, Valentine's Day is bringing even more of the color to campus. I asked a few students if they had a Valentine for the holiday.
Yes, I do. No. Well, I guess I do, but I don't really believe in Valentine's Day, so.
Yes, I do have a Valentine.
I do.
No.
After mixed reactions at the Muck, I headed to Hy-Vee to talk to the florists about one of their busiest times of the year. Bobby Joe Husby, assistant manager at the Hy-Vee Floral Shop, mentioned that males aren't the only ones buying flowers this season.
We have lots of moms that buy things for their kids. But yeah, it's mostly men.
However, the males never cease to show their softer side when buying flowers for their significant other.
We have guys that come in and want to know our thoughts and are a little embarrassed by what they put for the enclosure card. But yeah, for the most part, they know what they want.
But as for the most popular flower?
The red rose.
Not all Valentines are the same, and some people choose to step away from the norm.
Sometimes people try to step out of the box a little bit, but for the most part, lots of people like the red dozen roses.
For the Yote Report, I'm Kelly Stewart.
If you haven't purchased flowers for your special someone yet, the Motorboard is selling roses in the Muck tomorrow from 11 to 2.
Tonight on Coyote Sports, the men's basketball team is on a 4-game losing streak, and a freshman comes up big for the women's softball team.
Also, the women's tennis team falls, and commentator Nicole Griffith says a legend may be returning to the NBA. But first, sports headlines. Kelly?
Thanks, Alyssa. Kobe Bryant called out one of his Twitter followers for using a homophobic insult toward another fan. The fan tweeted, "You're gay," and Bryant replied to the tweet saying, quote, "Using "you're gay" as a way to put someone down ain't okay," unquote. Bryant was fined $100,000 in April for using a gay slur in a game, but apologized the following day. After months of voting, the ESPN Greatest Athlete of All Time contest is down to its top 16 athletes. The contest is based on a series of metrics including speed, strength, durability, and much more. A few of the athletes in the running are Muhammad Ali, Roger Federer, and Michael Phelps. You can log on to ESPN's website to vote. The Golden State Warriors have unveiled their plans to wear the NBA's first modern short-sleeve jersey for 3 of their remaining home games this season. The jerseys, provided by Adidas, are made with 60% recycled material and Adidas ClimaCool technology. The jerseys are 26% lighter than their regular uniforms. They'll make their debut February 22nd. And those are your sports headlines.
USD women's basketball team shined over the weekend in a home game against Kansas City. Senior guard Tempest Wilson led USD with 18 points, and freshman Heidi Hoff added 11 points and 7 rebounds off the bench. Elise O'Connor led the Kangaroos with 17 points, but it wasn't enough as the Yotes won 67-45. The win improved USD's conference record to 7-4, good for 3rd in the Summit League standings. The women head to Oakland tomorrow night to take on the Golden Grizzlies. The men weren't able to match women's success on Saturday night. The men traveled to Kansas City and fell 80-65 to the Roos. Trevor Groos led the Coyotes with 17 points, and Javal Miles added 13 second-half points. The Coyotes couldn't pull within 8 points in the final 16 minutes, and Kansas City made 12 three-pointers throughout the game. The loss makes it 4 straight for the men and drops them to 6th in the Summit League standings. USD will host Oakland tomorrow night and wrap up their home schedule with Fort Wayne on Saturday night.
The women's softball team won both of its games on the final day of the Red Desert Classic, beating Idaho State and Utah State. Both games were decided in the final inning of play. Christine Broders hit a walk-off home run to lift USD against Idaho State, and freshman pitcher Madison Frayne came in and got the save. The Coyotes will resume play at the Southeastern Louisiana Tournament next Friday. Illinois-Chicago winner at 16 straight Horizon League championships defeated the women's tennis team 7-0. Head coach Malcolm Gilreath says the Yotes played well, but there's a reason why they've gone to the tournament in each of the last 14 years. The match gives them a chance to see what they need to work on. The Coyotes are off this week, but will return next week against St. Cloud State and North Dakota. On this week's sports commentary, Nicole Griffith wonders if we've seen the last of an NBA legend.
Could the return of a legend be happening before our eyes? With 14 All-Star Game appearances, 11 scoring championships, 5 MVP awards, and 6 rings, who can say Michael Jordan isn't the best baller of all time? But the question is Is he coming back for more? Jordan retired from the NBA a decade ago, but he put the sports world on full alert during his Hall of Fame speech in 2009 when he said he wouldn't rule out another comeback. As he put it, "One day you might look up and see me playing the game at 50. Don't laugh and never say never because limits, like fears, are often just an illusion." Jordan seemed quite confident in his statement, and with his 50th birthday coming up on Sunday, it makes you wonder if we really have seen the last of Michael Jordan. For Coyote Sports, I'm Nicole Griffith.
In case you haven't yet noticed all the roses being sold in the muck this week, tomorrow is Valentine's Day.
On this week's commentary, Nina Larson celebrates the Hallmark holiday in her own way.
Love is in the air. Valentine's Day is tomorrow and my best friends have a very important date.
I'm so excited for today.
I know, I planned this whole night out. Your best friend is gonna serve us.
It makes me sick. I'll make this Valentine's Day one they'll never forget. Oh, Valentine's Day, the happy couple. Chocolates.
See?
Cody, they're eating. What did you do? Eat them?
I bought them like that.
Oh, Cody, these are lovely. That's more like it.
I got you flowers.
Flowers? What is that? They're dead.
I mean, I bought them new.
The perfect Valentine's Day.
You got cupcakes.
It's vanilla. Oh my gosh. Look at that.
Why is that in there?
It is. And it fits perfectly. I'll be so happy for you, too. Look. My work here is done.
Be my Valentine?
Congratulations cards for Lathasha and Cody can be sent to 214 Bauer Street. Speaking of Valentine's Day, on this week's Out and About, we asked students to describe their ideal mate.
Charming and funny and foreign.
She's gotta love microbrews. That kind of, you know what I mean? I like dark beers, so like she's gotta love dark beers.
I mean, all I'm really looking for is a sense of humor, a great smile, and a big...
Oh, that was quite unexpected. She's gotta love hip hop. It's J Dilla Day, so play your J Dilla. She's gotta love hip hop. That's important. That's very important.
One that likes agriculture and farming.
Is that all?
One that can drive a tractor as well.
Ideal mate, it's gonna be a girl.
He has to like dogs and reading.
I would describe him as an athletic nymphomaniac.
No.
Leggings are pretty hot. Yeah, probably nothing else.
It would be Kate Beckinsale, as long as she wears that black tight leather all the time.
Someone who's really smart, probably smarter than I am.
You know, she's got like a fast car, a fast lifestyle.
Great personality really helps.
Yeah, a great personality also really helps.
A new issue of the Volant hit newsstands today. Grab a copy and read about Conrad Adam, a high school basketball player from Pierre who lost his leg to cancer. Saturday's men's basketball game will be dedicated to Conrad and his family. Well, just when you thought you heard enough of Valentine's Day, a Dallas chocolatier, Andrea Pedraza, combined her love for chocolate and high heels by designing edible pumps for women. The chocolate pumps are styled in the form of Christian Louboutin shoes that range from $30 to $55.
That's all for Coyote News. Don't forget to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
Have a great night and the rest of your week. We'll see you next Wednesday.